Welcome back to another Bali COVID-19 update. This is April 27, 2022, and my name is Bruce. And it is a slightly overcast day today in Bali, but beautiful anyway. Wind speed is 11.3 kilometers per hour, kind of a windy day today, which is why I'm wearing my hat, keep my hair from blowing all over. And the temperature is 30.5 degrees Celsius, and the humidity is 71%. Is it going to rain today? I hope not. Looking back over the trip that I took a few days ago, I can see that it was a good thing to get out. I take a lot of stuff for granted living here, and so this really is a beautiful island. And sometimes we just get so wrapped up in where we live and the daily goings and comings of our children and friends and neighbors and family that, we forget about the natural beauty of Bali. And so, here is something, one of my favorite scenes. And the good thing about this, there's no villas in the middle of the rice paddies. It's just working agricultural land. That's what I love. If you want to come to Bali and build something, don't build something in the middle of rice paddies, because you're helping to destroy the beauty that people come here to see. Okay, enough of my complaint about people that want to build things in the middle of rice paddies and then find out that so does everybody else, and pretty soon the rice paddies are gone and you're surrounded by a bunch of other foreigners living in places that look almost exactly like yours. Okay, the main story is what it was going to be yesterday, but I pushed it off because I was getting up to my 20-minute limit, and so I'm doing it today. And it just shows how sensitive people have become here, how sensitive the government has become to the image of Bali, the brand of Bali, and that the government is ready to do something when some social media post goes viral and it's not in a good way about Bali. And so that's the first three segments. And that story has been going on for days and days. And the repercussions of it are going to continue on for the near future. Okay, a lot of stuff, so let's get going. And what about the new cases today? Well, new cases are up nationally and locally, just a little bit in both. Well, a couple hundred in national. National new cases, 576. National recoveries, 4,058. National deaths, 30. Okay, that was down a little bit. Bali new cases, 24. Bali recoveries, 40. And Bali deaths, 1. So, numbers are stable, and that's a good sign. And as I say every day, Mudik is underway, and we'll see what is going to happen. But so far, so good. Let's get into the first segment and see what happens when a foreigner goes ballistic on social media and says she hates it here and she is never coming back. Viral Bule claims to be harassed in Kuta, allegedly related to beach traders. Now, I did see this viral video, and she was pretty upset. So according to her, and according to the article, a bunch of traders on the beach were harassing her, trying to get her to force her to buy things and following her around, and it annoyed her, and she was very upset. According to Bali's deputy governor, he said, "Yes, I've heard from the complaints that occurred. There was even coercion of tourists from hawkers there. We have coordinated with the Bendesa." And hang on, next segment is about what the Bendesa has to say about this. The deputy governor asked all tourism components to pay attention to the incident, and it's hoped that the resolution will be shared responsibility. So the deputy governor said, now social conditions are difficult. We haven't had a lot of tourists. Now we're starting to get them. We need to anticipate situations. And so the woman said, people are harassing you when you walk on the beach. It's annoying. She said, I don't want to come back to Kuta or Bali. It's terrible. It's really terrible. Wow, she was upset. At the end of the video, the woman said, I am so glad that I'm going home tomorrow. Good impression on that tourist. Not the best promotion that Bali wants to give to the world. And so what did the Bendesa say? because the deputy governor said he was going to talk to the Bendesa. Viral Bule video, indigenous village head. They want to overthrow Kuta. So the Bendesa of Kuta said he didn't really believe all of this. He didn't believe that it was Kuta because he said there's no proof. He said there's just a picture of her head. She's talking. She could be anywhere. She could be on any beach, not necessarily on Kuta Beach. If she's going to make these kind of allegations against Kuta, she needs to have proof. He said if somebody feels disturbed, they need to make a video of it, and they need to include what's disturbing them, and then they need to report it to authorities with the proof. Otherwise, who knows? People may want to destroy Kuta's reputation. Well, he wanted to search for this woman, but if you listen to the video, she said, I'm leaving tomorrow. I'm so glad I'm leaving tomorrow. So she's gone. But her identity isn't really important. What's important is what happened or what she said happened. And, well, we know if you've been down there, you know people can be pesky. And back here in Lovina years ago, a long time ago, Lovina had a reputation for sellers that were a little aggro and would follow you down the beach pestering you to buy stuff. And that was something I heard from people frequently. Of course, we're talking about 20 years ago. I don't know about now. It may be different. But Kuta does have that, and you've got kids wandering around who are not from the area, as several people here have said, and they come in and they're trying to make some money. It's not the best thing for tourism, especially for tourists who don't want to be pestered and just want to be left alone to enjoy the beach or whatever. But the Bendesa did have to make some action after the deputy governor got on all this, and so that's the final segment of this story. I think the Bendesa was feeling a little pressure to get some stuff done, and so they're going to be Pecalang out watching people on the beach and seeing what happens. So there are going to be 39 Pecalang, 26 traditional village officers, and 8 coastal task force personnel out on the 4.5 kilometer span of Kuta Beach. And the purpose is to maintain the image of Bali's tourism. And according to an official, these are small children who have a coordinator. First they sell tissues, and if no one buys, then they immediately act as beggars with a system of forcing buyers. So apparently this person believes the story. He also said that the surrounding community should be aware of this, and if they find people disturbing, sellers disturbing tourists, they should report them so they can be handed over to Satpol PP for follow-up. And in addition to that, he said his party provides guidance to traders who sell around the area. Prior to COVID-19, a total of 386 traders were registered and equipped with name tags, and several rules that have been followed. However, since the pandemic, the demand for living on Kuta Beach has also increased, bringing the total number of traders to 1,600. Wow. Many of these traders come from outside Badung, such as from Kintamani. Kintamani always comes up. For now, we've emphasized the rules, such as traders cannot go down to the beach area, and one tourist can only be served by 2 traders and no more. This is the latest regulation because of the frequent problems that have occurred here. Notice he said frequent problems, so not just this one tourist who's gone viral. He also hopes that in the future, Bali tourism, especially Kuta, can recover. He said, we hope that those who play on social media, whatever small things that happen, will not be shared on social media, because the effect is not only like this in Kuta, it can be worldwide. Our image in Kuta is now getting worse. We're getting people back in now, and we're getting the problems that we had right before the pandemic. Crazy foreigners, people being aggro with selling stuff. It's just like old times. Okay, so wow, pretty intense, and some things are being done, and hopefully this will have a good impact, not a bad impact. Okay, and Sandiaga Uno, I don't know. Am I obsessed with him? He's just in the news a lot. I don't know. What can I say about it? Mudik. Sandiaga predicts 8% hike in hotel occupancy rate. He's predicting again. He took my crystal ball and he's been using it. The increase will be supported by people's high enthusiasm to travel or visit their relatives in their hometowns now that the government has eased the requirements for long distance trips. The Minister of Tourism and Creative Economy said that this either be around 80 million Mudik travelers. That's down from his estimate a few weeks ago of 85, of which 60% or 48 million people will visit tourist attractions. I love how he comes up with these numbers. How many times have I said that? Sandiaga added that public mobility has been on the uptrend since January, where there was an occupancy rate of 42.43% in star hotels, higher by 12.08% compared to early 2021. So Pak Sandiaga says hotels are going to go up by 8%. Will we ever see figures to back that up? I don't know, and I probably don't think so. And more on Pak Sandiaga, of course. Eid homecoming. Sandiaga Uno preps tourist villages relaxation corners. Relaxation corners, now that's nice. So, Pak Sandiaga has prepared a number of programs to support this year's Eid homecoming, or Mudik, period, so that people can return to their hometown safely and healthily. The programs are also aimed at restoring the tourism sector during the 2022 Eid period. The first program mentioned here is a digital activity for followers of the ministry's social media account and the general public in order to provide education to travelers about health protocols against COVID-19. Okay, I follow him on social media. I haven't seen anything. Maybe I'm not looking hard enough. Travelers can be role models in their respective hometowns and setting a good example of how to implement health protocols. I wonder if they're going to be using the Peduli Lindungi app. And this is interesting. The ministry has also prepared 15 homecoming posts from Lampung to East Java, which were expected to be relaxation corners or rest areas for travelers. Now that is nice. The ministry will also distribute 1,200 vouchers as a form of appreciation to homecomers for playing a role in boosting economic revival. Additionally, the ministry, in tandem with regional tourism agencies, designed travel plans consisting of tourism potential and facilities for travelers. For example, Malasari Tourist Village in West Java, and Pujung Kidul Tourist Village and Tamansari Tourist Village in East Java. Pak Minister said tourist villages are interesting to visit in the middle of a homecoming trip because if they are packaged in a fun way, inshallah, this will become a unique tourist destination. This means there must be a comfortable homestay, good attractions, and of course, the readiness of CHSE and health protocols. So let's get on to another minister, one that I talk about all the time, and I haven't seen him mentioned as a presidential or vice presidential candidate. So I wonder what's going on there. Minister Luhut meets Elon Musk discussing nickel EVs. All right, so Pak Luhut has met with the richest man in the world and now the owner of Twitter. And what are they up to? Luhut's spokesperson, Jody Mahardi, said that the meeting discussed the potential partnerships and investments between Indonesia and the US-based company. He claimed that Musk had invited President Jokowi to a meeting. The spokesperson said the discussions were about nickel processing opportunities and electric vehicle batteries in Indonesia. We're going to make electric vehicle batteries? That would be good. Musk also invited Jokowi to meet at the SpaceX facility in Texas and also touched on Starlink. And Pak Luhut had an entourage with him, of course. Who's going to miss a fun trip to meet the richest guy in the world, including his nephew and a bunch of other people, the chairman of the advisory council of Kadin and president director of PT Bakri and Brothers. Okay. And also the Indonesian ambassador to the U.S. According to Pak Luhut's nephew, Musk was really excited in talking about Indonesia's nickel industry growth and electric vehicles. A controversial figure, Mr. Musk, and is one of those people who are an absolutist for free speech. I wonder how that's going to go over in Indonesia, where you can't say certain things without getting thrown in the clink or grabbed by the police in question. And finish up with one more story. Yesterday I was talking about Pak Jokowi, and I said that according to the article his numbers were up, and I said, well, according to another one the numbers are down. Here it is. Soaring prices of staple goods dent Jokowi's approval. So his public approval has fallen nearly 12% in the last 2 months. Wow, that's a drop. This is according to a survey conducted by Indikator Politik Indonesia. This survey interviewed 1,220 people of voting age in person nationwide between April 14th and 19th, before the government announced their ban on exports of cooking oil and raw materials. It was also conducted before the Attorney General's Office, the AGO, named suspects in the alleged corruption case. What corruption case? The cooking oil corruption case. There's a lot of corruption cases going on in Indonesia right now. The poll found that Jokowi's approval rating had fallen to 59.9% in April from 71.7% in February and 75.3% in January, when the prices of staple goods, particularly cooking oil, were relatively low. And additionally, at that time, people were happy with the way the government was handling the pandemic, especially with the Delta-fueled wave decreasing right then. So recently, the governor had introduced a price cap for packaged cooking oil in early January to keep the staple food affordable despite soaring global crude palm oil prices, but they revoked it in March in favor of direct cash transfer scheme, and that led to a soaring in the prices for cooking oil. According to the executive director of Indikator Politik, if Jokowi wants to bring it back, a rising approval rating, his administration must achieve breakthroughs on these fronts: corruption eradication, particularly in the cooking oil policy and the national economy, inflation, and cooking oil scarcity must be reduced. A similar trend has appeared in two other polls recently that found that Indonesians have become more pessimistic about the economy lately, as they pay more for gasoline and cooking oil and food amid rising inflation made worse by Russia's war against Ukraine. These findings came as cooking oil prices rose by more than 70% annually, data from the Trade Ministry shows. People have had to stand in line to buy limited supplies of bulk cooking oil at government cap prices, set at about half the market price. The prices of other staples like soybeans, sugar, and eggs also have risen by 50 to 90% annually, a week before Ramadan started. The survey found a general perception that Jokowi's administration had been paying less attention to the economic hardship experienced by many Indonesians and focusing too much on political matters. What political matters? The third term for Jokowi, the delaying of the election, right? Here it comes again. About 51.3% of respondents said the government was prioritizing the construction of the new capital more than the economy, and 40.7% said it was putting more focus on the third-term extension plans, and 56.8% said it was focusing more on other political issues. Another poll conducted in mid-April and released on Monday by Carta Politika said that a cabinet shakeup is in order so that public confidence can be regained. And so the president is seeing his approval ratings fall, and well, that's happening around the world, isn't it? Take a look at the US and Biden's ratings. And it's going on, and new people are being elected all over because people are tired with the situation the way it exists. And so what is President Jokowi going to do? He's got Eid is almost here. We're less than a week away from Eid, and prices are expensive. Okay, that's it. Time to wrap up. If you found this video helpful, informative, useful, interesting, exciting, funny, amusing, non-irritating, I'd appreciate a thumbs up. It helps with the YouTube algorithm. And if you haven't subscribed, please consider subscribing. Videos are being done regularly. No, I still haven't decided how many days a week I'm going to do these. I'm still doing them on a daily basis until I decide. And on Sundays, we have the cooking videos. And here is a link to one of the most recent cooking videos where you can see my lovely wife preparing all sorts of food. Thanks for viewing. Be kind to someone today. Stay safe. And I will see you tomorrow, maybe.